Hi, welcome to Silent Generation. I'm Joseph,
I'm Nathan.
and this week we're talking about Swedish international furniture dealer IKEA.
Yeah. So this is a fun one. I got the idea for it, which is the case for several other episodes where I realized it was something that you would like to talk about because you're very passionate about IKEA. And I realized this too because Rafa posted in our Discord this meme from a 1949 edition of Life magazine where it listed different categories from highbrow to lowbrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a modern equivalent that Rafa also posted. And then IKEA was under like low to middle brow. And then I commented on the Discord that you would rank it higher. And then Brianna seemed really complex. So anyway, this all led me to realize that I think our audience would be interested in hearing an explanation of why you like IKEA.
Yeah, I think I will say I wouldn't put it any higher than like strictly middle brow. I think it has a wider appeal than you would think for it just being the cheapest option. Usually the cheapest option for something gets sorted at just like the bare bottom, the Dollar Tree of things. But IKEA escapes that. I think it escapes it with some design pedigree, basically.
After researching it more this week, I came to like it more myself because it is sort of one of a kind. If the founder, which we'll talk about him in a moment, if he never existed, there would not have been another Swedish multinational furniture company. And it's also unique in that it's the only multinational furniture company.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we like the stories of these just sheer force of will characters in companies like Dov Charney
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, and I think to be clear, we're not just shilling for IKEA in this. It's still like any multinational corporation, it does like pretty heinous stuff. Like because it's like an economy larger than like a lot of countries, it's bound to do pretty heinous things. And still on this podcast, we're so broadly like anti-corporatist. We don't like things that like flatten out the global experience and like homogenize things. And that's a component of IKEA. They do sell a lot of the same stuff around the world. They like to have some kind of culture consciousness. But at the end of the day, it's about consistency.
Yeah. There are other podcasts that have done episodes on IKEA as a company, but they're not really critical, or if they are, they're not in the right ways. Like I listened to this episode from this business podcast called Acquire, only business podcast I've ever listened to. The vibes were awful. Like they direct their listeners to go join their Slack channel instead of a Discord.
Oh my God, you're off of work. You don't need to use Slack. That is...
Yeah.
I thought about like being more involved in strong towns in Chicago, and they have a Slack, not a Discord. And I'm like, that changes the framing of everything,
Yeah. I've had to use Slack for a couple of different jobs, but I would never use it recreationally.
Recreational Slack usage.
And both of the guys on that podcast, like something about hearing guys just talk about how excited they are that like stuff is cheap. It gives me the ick. Like they'd be like, I can't believe this table's $10. Or like, can you believe their hot dogs are 50 cents?
You think that's an ick? I think a little bit of like frugality and miserliness can be admirable. It shows restraint.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's partially that I really don't like the word bucks. When people talk about how like things are $1 or $2, I never use that word, and I hate when other people do.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, definitely. You've never said it. Yeah.
Do you say that, or do you say dollars?
I say bucks sometimes. I can let loose, Nathan, despite appearances.
Yeah. No, my family members mostly say bucks. I think it's something Freudian.
It's gauche, yeah.
Yeah. Now we can maybe start with IKEA's founding. So the founder, it was Ingvar Kamprad. He started the company in 1943, but prior to that, he was an entrepreneur from a very young age. He would sell things like matches, ballpoint pens, and he started IKEA as a company in the town he grew up in, which was Almhult, which is in Småland, Sweden. And it's a very small town. To this day, it only has about 10,000 people.
Yeah, with Småland, I had seen the word before because the little kids area in IKEA, which they've closed down a lot of those in COVID, it's called Småland. And I was always like, oh, I get it. Small land. It's for small kids. And then I'm like, and then I read about this and I'm like, oh no, it's named after where he grew up, where he was a child. But then also, it literally does mean small land in Swedish. Like it's just a small piece of land, I guess. So I came back around. I'm like, oh, I was correct the whole time.
Yeah, it's an easy word to remember. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to learn the names of any other like Swedish territories.
It is pretty tricky, yeah.
But why did the first IKEA store open there? Like, how did it happen? So he started his furniture business originally as like a mail order company. And there were several other Swedish mail order furniture companies, but they were producing lower quality products that were also cheap. But he wanted to show that IKEA's furniture was cheap, but also high quality. So he opened up what was essentially a showroom, the first IKEA store, so that customers could go physically touch it and